Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas so far, or December if you don't celebrate Christmas. Anyway, my name is Ebony if you haven't been to my channel before. So today's video I'm really excited to film for you guys because I did this last year and we're bringing it back this year, and I'm going to share with you all the things that I've learned in 2018 whilst clearing my skin. And I'm excited about this one in particular because I feel like I've had such a big turning point this year of my skin. If you didn't see my one last year, I will have it listed down in the description box as well as like in a card right now. But anyway guys, let's get straight into the video and talk about all the things that I've learned this year whilst clearing my skin. So all the points that I'm making, this isn't in order of like where I learned them in the year, this is just overall because to be honest with you, I just cannot remember the order this came in. So anyway, let's just kick it off with one of the biggest ones really for me, which was changing the order of my skincare. Something I learned this year is it isn't necessarily about what products you're using, it's about what order you're using them in. And one of the switches I made is that obviously if you watch my videos, you know I love hemp oil and I love cleansing with it. It's something that's really made a big difference to my skin personally. Basically, I used to use micellar water just to clean off like the first layer of my skin before I went in with my hemp oil cleansing. And what I've now done is I've switched that around, so now in the morning I hemp oil cleanse, take that off with a cloth, and then I take a bit of micellar water and just get off any left over residue. And oh, my skin, it's just been so much better, like overall. So making that just small switch has made a big impact to me. So yeah, look into like the order of your skincare, because like I said, sometimes it's not the products, it's the order in which you're doing it. My theory behind why for me that switch made a difference was basically doing the hemp oil. Yes, it was clearing my skin because it actually was helping my skin kind of decongest because it loosens up trapped oil and dirt, but at the same time removing it and not getting it all off. I think with that in combination of putting my creams on top, it then created a mixture that was a little bit too heavy for my skin type. So although yes, my texture was smoothing and you know my skin was much better and not breaking out as it was like in previous years, I still would get the odd congestion. So yeah, I think making the switch and just using the micellar water just to get off that last bit of residue before I put my cream on, it's just given me that perfect balance for my skin. The second thing I learned this year was grains just don't really mesh well with me. My body and grains in general, I don't know if it just boosts my like inflammation in my body. If I had rice especially, and my body doesn't really like rice for some reason, but I think for me, I'm very sensitive to sugars. That's another thing I've learned this year, which again we'll talk about in a second. But especially even with like carbohydrates, even though I know like for example brown rice is a complex carb, like it is much better and it's a slower release, my body still is sensitive to it, I think, and that's maybe why it's giving me that response. But yeah, I just have noticed I have grains in moderation, but I'm okay with oats. Oats I'm okay with, they are fine with me, but I do make overnight oats, and if you make them overnight, the soaking process actually pre-digests the oats, so it's much easier to digest, so I think that also helps. I don't know, maybe in the future I could play around with certain grains and see if there is ones that I'm better off with, but to be really honest with you, something that I've just kind of put into my diet this year is I really have taken out a lot of grains in my diet, and I've noticed not only my skin but my body and my overall functions have just been so much better. The next thing I've learned, and it's funny because for each one I want to say this is like the best thing I've learned this year, but this one really is a big one, is the importance of exfoliation. I have always had this like weird relationship with exfoliation because physical exfoliants I absolutely love, but I have never found the right one because they scratch my skin surface and just irritate my skin more. And then with chemical ones, my skin is so sensitive to acids, so it's always been a bit of like a area for me getting exfoliation into my skincare routine right. But I use an exfoliator by Pi Skincare, and it's the Kukui and Jojoba Bead exfoliator. I talk about it in all my skincare videos, but this is just my go-to exfoliator. I absolutely love it. It's got jojoba beads, so they're completely spherical, so they just roll over the skin, they can't scratch the skin surface. But what I did is I basically took out any like anything that could have been an acid, because I did experiment within the year with like certain acids on my skin. It just wasn't happening, wasn't working. So I went to this exfoliator, and what I did is I used it once a week, and I built that into my skincare just once a week, and then I've now built it up to twice a week. And then, I mean, if I go to London for a weekend, I might maybe add in like a third for that week. But yeah, my skin, oh, exfoliation is just, it's just so important, I've learned, with clear skin, because what it does is it buffs away any dead skin cells, which could cause like breakouts or clogged pores, especially as well with excess oil. It gets anything trapped out the skin, it eliminates getting clogged pores and blackheads more that easily. So I've just noticed amazing benefits, and that one in particular is just my go-to. I personally highly recommend it. I absolutely do love it. This is not sponsored, I just genuinely do love this product. I've done a whole video on the do's and don'ts of exfoliation, so I highly recommend you go check out that video, so I'll leave it listed, because in that as well I also give my tips for exfoliation if you have acne and how to get it into your like skincare routine, because with acne you also don't want to be using physical ones and aggravating your acne. So I give you all the tips and everything that you need to know about exfoliation. So yeah, check out that video. So something I learned earlier on in the year, and I remember I did do a video around the time showing you what was going on with my skin, was I learned that weights and like lifting weights in the gym can increase your testosterone, and that if I did it at the wrong part of my cycle especially, caused me to break out. And there was a period where basically I was going to the gym doing a lot of weights, and I went through this like couple of weeks. It was actually around my birthday, fortunately, great, but I really badly broke out all on my cheeks. Yeah, it was, I remember I was so frustrated at the time, but when I realised the link between testosterone and weight training, it made massive sense to me of why I was breaking out. So now when I go to the gym, I like to keep my workouts balanced. So I still lift weights, and it's fine to do that, but you know, I will put in a bit of cardio, I will put in like maybe some HIIT training here and there, and just switch it up a little bit just to help with my like hormonal balance as well. So another huge thing I learned was in the summer, when I went to Dubai, and that waiter came over to me and explained to me that all alcohol contains yeast. I am very sensitive to yeast. I have had done allergy testing in the past, and I know that yeast is a no-go for me. I was getting all these little bumps, and alcohol was to blame. I mean, I'm not a massive drinker, to be honest. I actually don't really like drinking at all. Very rare that I do, but now knowing this whole yeast connection, I probably won't. But back like maybe a year ago, last summer, I was drinking alcohol, and looking back at my skin then, all the little bumps that are coming up on my skin, it makes so much sense now. If that was, you know, made from yeast and the kind of response my body has with yeast, you know, put 2 and 2 together, it makes perfect sense. Something that I really put into play this year, and something that I really do promote in all my videos, is about balance and moderation. And I really did learn that, you know, like having treats and having something here and there, it's absolutely okay. It's just not about having it every single day, and also learning your personal limits, because we're all very individual and we all have our own limits. Like if I go on the sugar front, I mean this year as well, obviously I learned how much sugar is a massive issue with me and my skin if I have like too much, and just knowing my limit with it doesn't mean I can't touch it. Like yes, like for example, it's December, you know, people are handing out chocolates left, right and centre. Yeah, like obviously if I have a chocolate, it's not going to hurt me, it's not going to make me break out. But you know, if I have a whole box, then I might get like some skin issues. So it's just knowing my limit with it, and also having everything in balance and moderation, not depriving yourself of it as well, because your mindset is a massive part of your skin as well. I think balance and moderation is kind of the slogan of 2018 for me. And then the last thing we'll get in before this sun really does affect this video too much. Oh, what has just happened there? See, it's going all over the place. So the last thing I want to talk about is this year I really have nailed down my skincare routine, and I've got my skincare routine that I just stick with. You know, I'm at a place where I absolutely love the products that I'm using at the minute and the results they're giving me, and I don't need to change, you know, I don't need to fix something that isn't broken. So I'm sticking with my skincare routine now, and you know, until the day that it's just not working for me, then maybe I'll change. But I don't need to experiment, you know, with loads of other stuff, because I found the products that work for me. If you guys want to see my morning skincare routine, then I'll leave that in the description, and in the description like the card thing here. I still need to do my updated evening skincare routine, but it is on its way, I promise you. I was waiting for like my new product to come because I finished it, but it's here. So yeah, anyway, ramble over, it's coming. But anyway guys, there we go, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. These are all the things that have just made a big big impact to my skin this year whilst clearing it. I'm sure there's so much more I'm going to learn in the next year whilst clearing my skin, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and stick around, because you know this time next year we'll be doing things I learned in 2019 clearing my skin. I would love to hear from you guys, and let me know in the comments what's like the biggest game-changing thing you learnt this year whilst clearing your skin and, you know, helping maintain your clear skin. To my right now, I will put my morning skincare routine so you can see what products I'm currently using. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.